Hail to thee, our alma mater, Colorado State. Memories are everlasting of this place so great. May the green and the gold unite us, loyal ever be. Colorado State, our alma mater, hail, oh, hail to thee.
How about those beautiful voices of Main Street a cappella? Thank you, students, so much for being here and starting this night with our amazing alma mater. We sure appreciate it. My name is Christy Bolander, and I am a proud two-time graduate of Colorado State University, as well as a proud two-time parent of Colorado State University students. And I have the honor of serving as the executive director of the Alumni Association. And honestly, this is one of my favorite events to host every year. Thank you so much for being here to honor our 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. Before we recognize tonight's honorees, I'd like to take a moment to extend a heartfelt thank you to the Laurie Student Center staff for their wonderful service, partnership, and hospitality. Will you join me in a round of applause for them? I know this is a little selfish too, but I would love to thank the Alumni Association staff with a special thank you to Dakota Bogner, Melissa Bokovitz, and Amy Jo Miller, who have worked so hard to create an event that truly honors and celebrates all of you. Would you mind giving them a round too? I would now like to take a few moments to recognize several other special guests who are with us this evening. If you would not mind standing or waving when recognized, and let's not hold our applause until I'm done introducing. Let's give them the applause that they deserve. All past Distinguished Alumni Award recipients, will you please stand or wave? I have to give a special shout out. I didn't see you stand, Kathleen, but I'm sure you did. Kathleen Henry, former president of the CSU Foundation. You'll hear a lot of the Henry name tonight. Members of the President's Members of the President's Cabinet, please stand. Our amazing college deans, will you please stand? And our 16th president and fellow alumna, Amy Parsons. You will get to hear a little bit more from Amy later in the program. I would also like to thank the members of the Alumni Association whose continued support allows us to bring programs like this to all of you tonight. Members help keep Rams connected and traditions like Homecoming and Family Weekend going strong. So thank you so much for your generous commitment to CSU and to your Alumni Association. I'll give you a round. And finally, let's throw a a little bit of competition in the mix. John Weber, I think you might like this, as our athletic director. We're going to recognize tonight's sponsors, our colleges and units that are so incredibly proud of each and every one of you who are receiving awards tonight. So I want to hear who is the loudest and maybe rowdiest. I see the foundation is feeling really confident right there in the middle. We'll see. You're coming in at the end of this list, so you have a little time. College of Agricultural Sciences. Okay, I know Ag Day is behind us, and maybe you left a little energy back there, but. Okay, College of Business. College of Health and Human Sciences. You did not disappoint. College of Liberal Arts. College of Natural Sciences. You're always really good at this. College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Love it. Warner College of Natural Resources. The Walter Scott Jr. College of Engineering. Okay, and this next one, if you're a former or current student athlete, or if you have tickets to any of our sports, CSU Athletics. All right, are you ready? The Colorado State University Foundation. Oh, I should have put athletics last, but good job. To me, there is no better way to kick off Homecoming and Family Weekend than this event, where we have the honor of celebrating our most distinguished alumni. Tonight's honorees join a select group of Rams, and some Aggies as well, who have made the world a better place through their professional achievements, generosity to their communities, and their Ram pride. All of them are quick to credit their alma mater for their success and are committed to paying it forward by supporting CSU students with their time, their talent, their treasure, and their testimony. As you hear their amazing stories tonight, you may notice a common theme that I would describe as a bold and selfless commitment to service. In fact, it's so distinctive and pervasive in this year's class. You might wonder if the word was literally stamped on each one of their diplomas. And guess what? It was. Service is one of 4 words printed on the university seal, joining education, research, and extension. And if you take a closer look at that seal, you'll notice that service is centered at the very top, right above the Colorado State Shield and the familiar symbols for leadership, strength, and unity. I don't know for sure, but I have to assume that the word's placement and prominence was intentional. Service has always been at least as important as education at Colorado State University, and maybe sometimes a little more so. The alumni we're honoring tonight prove it. As a land-grant university and birthplace of the greatest public service organization in the world, the Peace Corps, CSU has always produced alumni with practical skills who get things done for the benefit of others. Our graduates create useful things that improve the quality of life. They heal animals through their clinical expertise and compassion. They grow our food and protect natural resources for the common good. And they are the first to raise their hands and lead the way when help is needed. Viewed through their eyes, service isn't separate from education at all. It's simply the moral application of the education they receive right here on this campus. I'm sure some of you already know, but CSU lost one of its most beloved and respected family members today. Ann Gill represented the essence of every CSU value and ideal this event was created to recognize. She inspired generations of students through her teaching and mentorship, lifted the College of Liberal Arts through her leadership as dean, and modeled what it means to be a stalwart Ram. Personally, I saw her moral application of service every day for about 7 years when she volunteered full-time for the CSU Alumni Association, writing stories of our wonderful alumni. and was also a past Henry Award winner as part of the Distinguished Alumni Awards. I can say with absolute certainty that Anne would be very, very proud of each and every one of you recipients tonight. And I can also say with certainty that she's probably wagging a finger at me right now from somewhere, because one thing she did not like was attention. So I'll say that we're going to miss you, Anne. We'll feel your presence and the good you've done for so many of our fellow Rams, though. And as I'm sure tonight's honorees will attest, putting yourself in a position to put others first is a privilege that must be earned, usually with a few stumbles along the way. Those of you who know me know that I love our Colorado State University history. And thinking about the obstacles that some of you have overcome on your journeys here reminded me of one more interesting fact about the Colorado State University seal. In September, are you ready for a little history? Liberal arts? Okay. In September of 1938, Fort Collins received 10 inches of rain over the course of a few days, flooding several buildings on campus, including the museum where the original seal was housed. The hand-tooled, water-damaged leather emblem was cut from its backing in a jagged, rather hurried way to try to save it, and was later stitched to a new piece of leather in a manner that retained the uneven border, giving the seal its current appearance. There's something comforting and symbolic about that imperfection. Rams earn their scars, and sometimes, like on our seal, we're maybe a little rough around the edges when we need to be. But we're always stalwart, and we are always there for each other. Tonight's awardees, some of you I have known for decades and decades, and some of you I have met for the very first time tonight. But you represent the Rams take care of Rams ethos in all of its forms, extending it across the nation and world. They are volunteers, veterans, mentors, and philanthropists. They share their knowledge and experience through more professional business associations and nonprofit boards than I could possibly list in these remarks. And most of all, our honorees exemplify what it means to be a Ram through their extraordinary commitment to others. On behalf of the more than 263,000 Colorado State University alumni all over the world, may I be the first to officially congratulate you on your awards, and thank you so much for the honor and optimism that you have brought to your alma mater. Our MCs this evening are Maddie Hudson and Charlie Beelart, two students at Colorado State who are members of our presidential ambassadors, a group of outstanding students selected to represent the university to advance the public's understanding of CSU and the role students play in its growth and success. I know we have some additional presidential ambassadors. They were driving the golf carts, they were greeting you as you came in. If you are a presidential ambassador, can we give them a round of applause? Thank you so much. Maddie over here is a junior majoring in zoology in the College of Natural Sciences. And Charlie is set to graduate in 2027 with a degree in construction management from the College of Health and Human Sciences. We are thrilled to have them here hosting our program. So please help me welcome Maddie and Charlie.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Christy. I'm extremely excited to be a part of this event. The success of our honorees and the way they stay connected to CSU is truly inspiring. I never dreamed I would be able to have an opportunity like this, to be surrounded by such a big group of CSU alumni making such an impact in the world.
I agree, Maddie, and I'm so proud to be a Ram and can't wait to be a part of the alumni community when I graduate someday. We are so grateful for all of you who chose to spend some of your time here on campus this evening as we pay tribute to our most accomplished alumni. It is our absolute pleasure to represent CSU students here tonight. At this time, we will begin tonight's first award. The Distinguished Athletics Award recognizes alumni for their commitment to the CSU Department of Athletics and the contributions, efforts, and achievements they've made towards the success of Ram Athletics. This year's recipients are Ann Teresa and Larry Buckendorf. Ann Teresa earned her Bachelor's of Science in Finance from Colorado State University in 1989, and Larry earned his in accounting 1 year earlier. Ann Teresa currently drives and volunteers for Meals on Wheels and Saint, a senior transportation nonprofit. Larry is a member of the Colorado Bar Association and Colorado Board of Accountancy, while also serving as general counsel and principal of Journey Homes LLC, the largest privately held home building operation in northern Colorado. The Buckendorf's Ram Pride shines bright as members of the Lori and Frontier Legacy Societies, CSU Basketball Roundball Club, and as CSU football and stadium supporters. It is my absolute pleasure to invite to the stage the 2024 Distinguished Athletics Award recipients, Ann Teresa and Larry Buckendorf. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating them.
Thank you. Good evening. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I limited my speech to 25 minutes. Chrissy told me I had 30 minutes. Anyways, Maddie, good to see you, Charlie. Congratulations. Thank you for this incredible honor. Ann Teresa and I are truly humbled to receive this distinguished award from Colorado State University. I want to acknowledge my mom, Patricia, who's down there taking pictures, and my mentor and dear friend, Jim Smith, who is also a Distinguished Alumni Award winner. They are truly important to me, and thank you for being here with me, both of you. Ann Teresa, unfortunately, could not make it tonight for some cursory reasons not to be disclosed. Congratulations to the other recipients. They're phenomenal people, especially Jim Martell. Jim, where are you? Right down in front. Jim and I practiced together and did a lot of work over the number of years. And Jeff and Kim Finnan, we attended CSU together at the same time, and Jeff and I worked at Arthur Anderson together for a number of years before its demise, not because of Jeff and I. Ann Teresa and I met here at CSU, and this institution is important and a significant part of our lives. When I think back on our time at CSU, we're filled with gratitude for the experience and relationships that we shared with the current staff, and of course coaches and staff of the past, and good friends still, Tim Miles, Jamie Bermel, Steve Adazio, Joe Parker, and Christy Bolander, and many others, and of course Hall of Famers, Tom Hilbert and Sonny and Carol Joe, and many players. We've developed unbelievable relationships with these individuals over the years, and it truly feels like a family. Academically, this dedicated faculty, I've met some of the individuals this evening, challenged us, inspired us, but I do want to mention one individual, Dr. Terry Lantry, may he rest in peace, was instrumental in assisting me at the start of my career and helped me get my first job and supported me through my first job and taught me the importance of resilience, collaboration, giving back, and the values that carry us forward, and these values I carry forward today. He was an incredible man, and that what really attracts me and connects me to CSU. So this award is not just a recognition of our achievements, but of the education and foundation that we received at CSU, and the joy that athletics absolutely brings to a campus. Of late, I'll be honest, we've been concerned about the course of CSU and where the athletic department was going. I felt like, honestly, that we were rudderless and uncommitted to success. However, we are incredibly optimistic now about the future. President Parsons and John Weber, at the helm, I truly believe that they know where we need to go. President Parsons has direction, commitment, and all of us now are clearly aware that she's not afraid to make big, bold decisions. As I accept this award on behalf of Ann Teresa and I, we commit to staying connected to CSU, supporting the future generation of Rams, both of you. Together we can continue to make a difference. And to Jay and Nico along the way, let's win a few championships. So thank you once again for this amazing honor. We're proud to be part of the CSU family. And in closing, fight on, you stalwart Rams. Thank you.
Our next honoree is from the College of Agricultural Sciences. Robbie Baird LaValle grew up on a family ranch near Thermopolis, Wyoming. She earned her Bachelor's of Science in Animal Sciences from Colorado State in 1987, followed by a Master's of Science in the same discipline 2 years later. Since 1987, Robbie has continued her association with CSU as a student, instructor, affiliate faculty, employee, volunteer, and author. In 1989, Robbie became the CSU Tri-River Agriculture and Range Extension Agent for the Tri-River area, which she held until 2012. Robbie continues to ranch in western Colorado on the multi-generational LaValle Ranch. We are proud to honor Robbie Baird LaValle tonight as the 2024 College of Agricultural Sciences Honor Alumna Award recipient.
Thank you so much. What an incredible honor, and it just reiterates the point that we all bleed green and gold, and so thank you all so much. It is such an honor, and truly, as I look around the room and I see so many familiar faces, it's very humbling, and again, I know that we all carry such a passion for this university, and we carry it every day, and sometimes we get a little aggravated at it, and that's okay, because all we want is what's best for Colorado State University and for all that are included in not only this room, but the students. It's just incredible. No one gets to this podium by themselves, and certainly the same is here, and I want to thank Dr. Keith Bell, because it's just, it's been an honor since I was an undergrad and he was at grad school, and yet he put up with all of us undergrads asking those dumb questions. And so Dr. Bell, you've been an inspiration. You've taken this university to the national level and international level, and next week you'll take it even further, and I'm just so proud of you. First of all, and also just everything you've done for the industry as a whole to make everyone realize that we have a safe food supply, and that food supply is safer because of all the work that Colorado State University does here. And it wouldn't be without saying thanks to Dr. Darrell Tatum, who gave me that chance for the bachelor's and the master's, and really made it extraordinary with all the teaching. And Steve LaValle, who made sure that I stick with it when I was ready to hang her up. He made sure I stuck with it and has been the mentor for so many years. And Floyd Reed, who's here, who gave me my range degree. And again, it's those relationships that you build. Floyd was here in the 60s, and then he had a special opportunity to go overseas. And then he came back even more motivated to carry on the CSU tradition. And he carried that on well with the U.S. Forest Service. And so, Floyd, I'm so proud of you as well that you handed me my range degree. And the other great thing about CSU, remember I grew up in Wyoming. I was a traitor when I crossed the border. I had to switch my license plates when I crossed the border. I switched my license plates when I went back up the border. But CSU gave me the opportunity to judge livestock here and go on at the state and national level. And it was because of the livestock judging that I've made incredible friends and incredible friendships that have lasted for years, not only on our team, but all that we've met. And the same goes for all of you in this room. It is the friendships, it is the support that carries on, whether it be for the industry or that. And it's because of livestock judging that I met this very handsome cowboy one day in Hotchkiss, Colorado. That turned out I was the beef judge and he was the beef superintendent, and he had to take me to lunch. And thus La Valley Ranch continued. I couldn't have done this without Mark LaValle. He's been my rock and mentor, and we'll continue on. I look at Dr. Warner here with the college and all the good that he's doing. Again, Animal Sciences for all that they've done. We have to continue the work for the College of Agricultural Science, because there are those in this state, there are those nationally that want to make sure that we don't have ag. But food security is critical. And food security has to be a priority, not only for all of our students, but for our faculty as well. And so I want to thank CSU for coming back to understand that agriculture is important, agriculture is critical, and agriculture is the solution, and CSU is part of that solution. So once again, thank you very much. It is an honor.
Next up, the College of Business is celebrating Kimberly and Jeff Finnan as their 2024 Honor Alumni. Jeff graduated from CSU in 1987 with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration and was the president of Beta Alpha Psi, team captain for the baseball team, and a member of Sigma Phi Epsilon. An accomplished CPA, his career includes serving as a partner at Arthur Andersen and KPMG, as chief accounting officer at Prologis, and as chief financial officer at Coresight Realty. Kimberly graduated from CSU in 1986 with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration as well, and was a member of the Kappa Alpha Theta and Mortar Board, and served as the Business College Council Vice President. She had a successful career in retail, working as an assistant buyer and manager of retail stores for May Company and Gap Kids. The Finnan's leadership extends beyond the corporate world, having contributed significantly to the community through roles on the board of directors of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado, the Executive Council of Bethany Lutheran Church, and the Accounting Advisory Board and Global Leadership Council for Colorado State University, as well as coaching youth sports. Please help me welcome Kimberly and Jeff Finnan to the stage as tonight's College of Business Honor Alumni.
Well, good evening, everyone. First of all, Christy, I loved the history of Colorado State. That I don't think I've ever heard about that, and the seal and the dedication to service. It's so in line with what Kim and I do, and I think it's just such an important aspect. Probably something we learned in addition to our upbringing at Colorado State, and is a very important part of our lives through today and obviously going forward. But first of all, as Larry said, I'd like to just congratulate all the honorees tonight. What a wonderful group of people, and it is just fascinating to read everybody's bios and what you guys have done for CSU and elsewhere. And as Larry said, we go back a long ways, and congratulations, my good friend Larry Buckendorf. I'd also just like to thank Dean Beth Walker, who's here with us, and Dr. Lisa Kuchar, them and anyone else who may have been involved in us getting this recognition. We are unbelievably honored and humbled by the recognition. And obviously contributing to the success of Colorado State will be a very important part of what Kim and I do going forward, and always has been. So thank you both for your friendship, and enjoyed all the years today, and continue to work with you going forward.
I see this picture up here, and Jeff and I met in Parmalee many years ago as freshmen, so I should have brought that picture too, but anyway, back in '82. But we want to thank our parents for being here tonight. We came up from Denver this afternoon, and our daughter, our oldest daughter, Kayla, who also was a CSU grad. And we want to thank our parents for giving us such a great foundation and teaching us values of faith, hard work, and education.
Yeah. Yeah, Mom, Kayla, Barbara, Denny, thank you guys for being here. It really means a lot to Kim and I, so thank you. Over the last few years, working with Dr. Lisa Kuchar on the Accounting Advisory Board, and more recently with Dean Beth Walker on the Global Leadership Council, I have the opportunity to come up and periodically to the campus, and many times we get involved with the students. And the students come to our meetings, and many times they're asked to do a presentation on some topic. One of them recently was AI, and it's amazing what AI can do in terms of producing a bio. If you haven't done it, it's fantastic. But I leave this university every time after listening to these kids, and the quality of what we are producing out of this business school is fascinating. And I am so optimistic every time I leave this campus, and energized, and I can't wait to get back on campus. It is a wonderful experience, and it's just a reflection of what this institution is doing and the quality of individuals we are putting into the workforce and into our communities. So anybody who's involved with CSU, thank you, and keep up the good work. It is fascinating to see, and could not be happier for Kim and I to call CSU our home where we met. And I wish you would have brought that picture. That would have been comical. But I'm glad you didn't. So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for the recognition. And God bless. And as always, go Rams.
Our next recipient is Marty Lenz from the College of Liberal Arts. Marty grew up along the Front Range and quickly realized Colorado State University presented the best opportunities to live out his football and radio dreams. Rams football taught him perseverance, toughness, and teamwork, and academics molded his professional and personal skills. Since graduating from CSU, Marty has moved up and down the radio and television dial and around the country doing what he loves with those he loves. He is now co-host and co-anchor for Colorado's Morning News on KOA. Supporting the university by way of both athletics and academics, Marty is a football season ticket holder and one of the forces behind the Lenz Family Legacy Endowment for the College of Liberal Arts. He proudly refers to CSU as his all that matters and believes he wouldn't be what he is today without his time and experiences at Colorado State University. Congratulations to Marty Lenz as the 2024 Honor Alumnus for the College of Liberal Arts.
It is a running gag, but it's very true when we talk about the alma mater. And I said, no, it's my all that matters because I live, breathe, and eat and bleed green and gold. My late father taught me the love of alma mater. My father went to St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, more famous for Steelers training camp than it is for necessarily legendary alums, though Fred Rogers endowed the school. You may know him as Mr. Rogers. But he taught me to love my school, take pride in my school. and appreciate and support my school for all that they've done for me. And I'm unbelievably humbled because I know Christy said at the front about honoring what we've done in the name of the school, but frankly, I would not be here without many of my professors that are here today, Dr. Pendell, Dr. Phillips, Greg Dickinson, who's become a friend and somebody who I appreciate, Greg Luft, and then many that aren't here, Dr. Burkhart. And, I got the news today about Professor Gill passing away, and she had a legal background, and I'm sure she's arguing canon law with St. Peter right now at the gates. But they helped mold and shape me to be who I am today. And in many ways, I feel higher education is under siege. I'm going to tell you right now, CSU taught me to critically think. They didn't tell me how to think. They taught me how to critically think. Challenging orthodoxies, making me uncomfortable. That's one of the lessons I learned playing football as well. I had the great opportunity, you could say, of Urban Meyer being my position coach my last year, and he's the one that taught me the language about get comfortably being uncomfortable. But that's what my professors did as well, saying, you believe this, but what if it's this? Challenging everything I thought, making me really think outside the box, another one of those cliches. And I guarantee you, I would not be, I say humbly, successful without the bases I've had here in Colorado State. And I'm going to say this goes two ways. There's not a day that doesn't go by when something breaks in the news that I don't reach back to Colorado State and saying, get me an expert on this topic. And you know what? You're all you. I might even interviewed one of you on the air about something. Food safety, we were talking about this, having food safety. Something going on politically, something with engineering, something in the space of expertise that the university has. And there's so many of them that I call on the resources, and I cannot tell you how thankful as a radio host that I can go to my alma mater and say, these people are in the know and they know what they're talking about, and I have them on the air with me. It just makes me beam with unbelievable pride. It takes a village to be successful. I would not be successful without my wife, Jolynn, who I love dearly, who puts up with my fanaticism. I have a disease. I allow what young men 18 to 22 on a Saturday afternoon impact and influence my moods. If they win, it's great. If they don't, I get a little edgy and bitter. My two siblings, we helped start the scholarship, Len's Legacy Scholarship, something we talked about. Both my siblings, proud liberal arts alums as well, doing very different things. My brother works in the space of medical device. My sister, Carol, God bless her, she works in patient safety and health advocacy, and that's a whole different story, but she in many ways is way more deserving of this than I, for what she's gone through and what she does now, really transforming what's going on in the medical space. I love them both, and I'm proud to be a part of that scholarship with them. Though I did want to call the scholarship the Martin J. Lenz Scholarship and his lesser siblings, but that didn't go over very well. My daughter, our oldest daughter, a proud CSU alum, anthropology major, proud of her for that as well. So, it's in our DNA, and I'm just proud to be here. I'm proud to see some of my former professors, and God bless you all. I'm unbelievably humbled. I don't feel I deserve this, but as I joke, and I've said this to many people, I love Teddy Pendergrass and the song When Somebody Loves You Back, and it's nice to know my alma mater loves me as much as I guess I love it. You love me, you really love me, the Sally Fields quote. But humbled, thank you, and I will always be here for this university because this university has always been here for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next Distinguished Alumni Award recipient is from the College of Natural Sciences, Dr. Kevin Franklin. Dr. Franklin graduated from CSU in 1984 with a Bachelor's of Science in Biology and entered active duty as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force after completing the ROTC program at CSU's Detachment 90. Among many career distinctions, he was a gastroenterology consultant to the Air Force Surgeon General and program director for the San Antonio Gastroenterology Joint Military Fellowship Program. For his service in the military, he received the Legion of Merit and the Meritorious Service Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster. He and his wife, Dr. Pamela Gill Franklin, are actively involved in the College of Natural Sciences through the Kevin and Pamela Gill Franklin Leading with Excellence and Professionalism program, as well as an endowed scholarship in the college. Please help me welcome and congratulate our College of Natural Sciences honor alumnus, Dr. Kevin Franklin.
First, giving honor to God for making everything possible. I want to thank the Alumni Association and the College of Natural Sciences for this award. I want to thank my lovely wife, Pam, for making the journey with me. I want to thank the many professors here at Colorado State that made my education possible and allowed me to do what I do. Many classmates are here. Fraternity brothers, I think, showed up. 1119. A lot of people helped me get here, and definitely not on my own. I came to Colorado State as an 8th grader, and when I stepped on this campus and I saw Moby Gym, I told myself, I want to be a Ram. And my brother's here with me, and we were reflecting on that story today, and I thank my brother as well. But I came to Colorado State to be a veterinarian and got sidetracked a little bit. But I'm happy to say that 26 years later, I come back as a vet. Doctor of Medicine has been just a great honor, and I got a chance to do a lot of things in that role. Serving in the military, my time in Iraq was fantastic. Not for the best reasons, but I worked with fantastic people, and it was the best hospital I ever worked at. I also got the opportunity to educate. I got the opportunity to administrate. But I realized that what God called me to do was to take care of patients. And that's what I do now. I love still sitting at the bedside talking to people, taking the time to listen to people's problems, and doing my best to make them better. I can't thank Colorado State enough for giving me that foundation to make that possible. Detachment 90 taught me a lot. Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And Alpha will always live in my heart because I'm called to be a servant to all. God bless you, and thank you again.
Next, we will recognize our honor alumna from the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, Dr. Joanne Bowen. Dr. Bowen always knew she wanted to be a veterinarian. She graduated from Colorado State University's Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program in 1976, working in the college throughout her academic career. After graduation, Joanne started a mobile veterinary practice providing care for food animals and pets. For 16 years, the American Breeder Service Artificial Insemination Collection Center near Wellington was her largest client, and she served as the first female veterinarian working in this space in the United States. She shifted her focus to small ruminants and joined the American Association of Sheep and Goat Practitioners, where she served 2 terms as president. Joanne continues to support CSU's DVN program through scholarships, and for the past 25 years has rooted on the Rams volleyball team from Section O, Row 5, Seat 1. Tonight, we proudly welcome Dr. Joanne Bowen to the stage as the 2024 College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences Honor Alumna.
Good evening, everyone. Shorter than everybody before me. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight to honoring your friends, family, and the previous awardees. When I came to Colorado State University, I was 17 years old. I knew I wanted to be a veterinarian. I had had an experience as a child that turned out very badly for my pet, and it told me that I could do a better job than that veterinarian. And so I had tunnel vision. I was so fortunate to be a member of the notorious class of 1976, 3 of our members are here tonight besides me and come every time to support members in this award. I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for the award. I'd like to thank the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences for nominating me for this award. And I'd like to thank my husband, Richard. I met Dick when working out at the research lab, the research farm on the Campus West Foothills Research Campus. And the cowboys who worked out there with livestock, we had 1,000 cows, we had 1,000 sheep on research project, we had 60 mature pigs. I learned a lot from the people I worked with, the kind people and the professors who were doing the research. But the cowboys had this idea that they were going to set up the night guy with me because I could bake pie. And so I met my future husband. We got married when I was a freshman, before I got in as a freshman veterinary student. And 52 years later, we're still hanging up together. 3 of my classmates are here. J.C. Burkhartsmeyer, Mike Peterson, Jim Furman, Jim's wife. Oh my gosh. Penny used to work at the bull farm the whole time I was working there. Our daughter Helena is here from California too. This kid grew up in the back of a pickup truck. She went on farm calls. I started a practice when I graduated because no male veterinarian in town would hire me. This was in 1976. There were 11 veterinary practices in this city. My husband was on faculty, so I chose to stay with him. And there was the veterinary teaching hospital, and nobody wanted a female associate. Dr. Creed, who was one of the most marvelous professors we had, said, well, you got a car, you got a brain, you got good skills, start a practice. And here I am, 48 years later, still in mobile practice, still in Larimer and Weld counties, and my clients are wonderful people. Mitzi Davis is here tonight. She was one of my first clients. Sina Balch is a colleague who came up from Colorado Springs. She and I have worked so hard for the American Association of Small Ruminant Practitioners to move this veterinary field forward, accepting women, trying to maintain diversity in the animals we seek. Our class was so lucky in the class in 1976 in that all our professors had been in practice. They didn't grow up in a silo of becoming an intern and then a resident and then a faculty member. They grew up on farms, ranches, and in veterinary practices. So I was so blessed and so lucky to be with 96 kids that were all the same type of background. The notorious night class of 96 has a college scholarship that our members pay for each year. And I have 3 things I'd like to finish with because I'm trying to stay in that 3-minute time limit. First is, my husband taught me that Louis Pasteur once said, chance favors the prepared mind. Know what you've got to do, figure out how to achieve it, and move forward. Secondly, something that's been very important in my life is when an opportunity arises, say yes. It is so easy to be afraid. It's so easy to think you're not skilled or prepared to do something, but say yes. I've gotten to travel to England, to Japan. I've gone to Kenya, and I haven't gone to Kenya, oh my gosh. I've gone to Italy twice with my daughter. I've been to Nepal twice. And I've had wonderful experiences with people who can really use veterinary information. So chance favors the prepared mind. Take opportunities when you see them. And my last one would be move forward with a purpose. Know what you want to do, what you want to keep doing, and move forward with a purpose. And I can't end this speech without saying, the Duke, John Wayne, one of his favorite sayings was, courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. Thank you.
Next, we would like to welcome our Honor Alumni Award recipient from the Walter Scott Jr. College of Engineering, Elizabeth Walzell. Liz earned her Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering from Colorado State University in 1984. That year, she joined the Dow Chemical Company, where she would stay for her entire 35-year career, becoming one of the first women working in Dow's manufacturing plants. Following 18 years in manufacturing, Liz served in various roles, including supply chain director, director of the Houston Engineering Center, and even president of the Dow Engineering Company. Liz served on the CSU Engineering Dean's Advisory Board from 2004 to 2021, including time as chair, and has supported CSU Chemical and Biological Engineering since 1986, with a named scholarship among other support. Since retirement, Liz has volunteered in the math classroom at her local elementary school and is a very active volunteer and board member with Sire Therapeutic Horsemanship. Congratulations, Liz, on being named the 2024 Walter Scott Junior College of Engineering Honor Alumna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this incredible honor, and I've been reminded repeatedly today, 2 minutes, so here we go. Congratulations to the colleagues that are being recognized with me tonight. And I have to say that I think we're pretty good examples of what CSU as a land-grant institution is supposed to be doing, to put out educated graduates that can go out and solve the problems of the world. So I wouldn't be here without a lot of things that I'm grateful for. And started with a foundation, parents that taught me to believe I could do whatever I could do, teachers that made independent studies when we ran out of math and science at my small high school, 2 women from Bell Laboratories that came to talk to us about careers in engineering when I'd never heard of engineering. So that set the foundation. I'm amazingly grateful to Claude Wood and the Colorado Energy Research Institute for providing scholarships so that I could come up here for 4 years. Grateful to the College of Engineering and the Chemical Engineering faculty who were not only starting up a department, but making sure that we had an education as good as anybody I've ever worked with. I have gratitude for my classmates, some of who are here tonight, for motivating me and studying with me and making sure that we took advantage of all the rest of campus life, everything that we had to order. We worked hard up here. We got a really good education, but we were also prepared to take it out to solve the problems of the world. I am really grateful for Dow Chemical Company for providing me a wonderful career. I was a farm girl with a really good education when I hit the control rooms in Freeport. And we worked hard. We had fun, we solved problems, and we made the chemical industry better. We didn't just set production records and introduce new products and build world-scale plants. We did that. But in the time I was there, we also reduced environmental emissions, process safety incidents, and personal injury incidents by 95%. Now, I was there for a long time, but anyway, that's chemical industry needed to do that, and I'm proud to be part of that. I'm grateful to my husband, Mike, who was there as a full partner along the way. We wouldn't have made it if there weren't 2 of us. But he also set the example in our family of giving back to our institutions. And I'll circle back to gratitude to CSU and the Scott Department of Engineering for giving me the opportunity to give back some of what I've been given. As a recruiter, Engineering Days judge, advisory board member, scholarship sponsor, a donor, I've been really blessed, and I couldn't have done it without this place. So thank you for the award, and thank you just for making all this possible. Good.
Next up, for the first time ever, we get to celebrate a married couple receiving separate awards tonight. According to the Werners, they've done most of life together since meeting at CSU. So you can imagine how excited we are to welcome them to the stage for their accomplishments together as well. Jo Karen, better known as Jody Werner, is from the College of Health and Human Sciences. Jody grew up in Pueblo and met her husband Mike at the Green Hall on their first day on campus as freshmen. Jody earned a Bachelor's of Science in Occupational Therapy and worked in a variety of therapy settings, including with the British National Health Service in Oxford, England. She finished her career as an assistant professor of occupational therapy at Newman University, and since retiring has volunteered at Hearts and Horses Therapeutic Writing Center in Loveland, been a Girl Scout leader for more than 50 years, and currently works with the Girl Scouts of Colorado History Center in Loveland. In 2018, she was recognized as the Department of Occupational Therapy Distinguished Alumna for her contributions to the profession. Jody has endowed 2 scholarships for occupational therapy graduate students working at CSU's Early Childhood Center to provide experiential learning opportunities for our youngest future RAMs.
And before we welcome Jody to the stage, it's our pleasure to introduce her husband, Michael Werner, from the Warner College of Natural Resources. Mike came to Colorado State University to study natural resource management. He graduated in 1970 with a Bachelor's of Science in Outdoor Recreation and earned a commission as a second lieutenant from Air Force ROTC. He would serve in the Air Force for 36 years. Mike supports 3 natural resource students each summer at the Mountain Campus through an endowed scholarship, mentors 24 CSU accounting students serving in the IRS Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program in the College of Business, and actively supports CSU's Air Force ROTC Detachment 90. Please join me in congratulating Jody Werner as this year's College of Health and Human Sciences Honor Alumna Award recipient, and Mike Werner as the 2024 Warner College of Natural Resources Honor Alumnus.
Thank you so much for this honor. It's my life has been filled with chances to learn and opportunities to put that learning into action. That's kind of my motto, put learning into action. And this has led to great experiences. I've met many new people through many avenues that I never dreamed I would find when I left Pueblo and came to Colorado State University. Through the years, this has offered me a chance to do service in lots of different places and a lot of different ways that I never dreamed of. All of these people at CSU and around the world have been my village. They continue to help me help others in various ways. For me, the university was the major foundation of my learning, which has allowed me to do all of these wonderful things and have worldwide experiences. Recently, we've been very excited and joyful to learn that one of our early OT scholarship students has been appointed as an assistant director at the Early Childhood Education Center. And it's gratifying to know that through her contribution, our contribution to her education will continue forward to help with those little future RAMs. Thank you again for this wonderful award.
When I retired and we moved back to Fort Collins to be with family, we thought we'd miss the sense of mission and the close camaraderie that we experienced on Air Force bases all over the world. However, from our first activity at CSU that we participated in, we discovered that same sense of a common mission and purpose and the community that we cherished during my whole career. That led us to our first support for one Human Dimensions of Natural Resources student to go to Pingree Park that summer. That's now 3 students, and Jody's support for the occupational therapy students at the Early Childhood Center, and our help for the Air Force ROTC cadets in DET 90. All 3 of these scholarships are based on experiential learning, which we found to be the most valuable part of our education and our success in our careers. So we continue that process. We very much enjoy taking our scholarship students out to breakfast or lunch every fall to find out what their experiences were and what their aspirations and career goals are following graduation. My most rewarding experience at CSU now is mentoring accounting students in the College of Business who help fellow students and community members prepare their tax returns every year as part of the IRS Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. Seeing those students grow and gain confidence in interviewing clients and helping people complete their taxes is very reassuring for our future. But we couldn't have done this alone, and are very grateful to many people in numerous departments all across the university who have helped encourage us and support us and making our CSU community thrive. Thank you very much.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Colorado State University's 16th president, a 1995 graduate and proud alumna herself, Amy Parsons.
Go to the middle, she says. Wow, Rams, what an amazing night this is. I'm so energized and inspired by all the distinguished alumni that we've heard from so far tonight. Thank you all for your amazing words. Let's give all of our honorees another round of applause. Let's also give a round of applause to Christy Bolander and our amazing student MCs working so hard tonight. Thank you. Thank you. So it's an honor for me to talk with you about our next 4 awards, the final 4. We're in the final 4 round. The William E. Morgan Alumni Achievement Award, the Charles A. Laurie Public Service Award, the Jim and Nadine Henry Award, and the Graduate of the Last Decade Award. Each of these awards is bestowed on a CSU great whose service shapes our institution and whose example inspires us all. I'm humbled especially to recognize 2 of these awards, William E. Morgan and Charles A. Laurie, named after CSU presidents who combined served the university for more than 51 years, a third of the whole university's history. And Jim and Nadine Henry's award, also named for 2 CSU legends. The award honors Jim and Nadine's Ram pride that rang true perhaps as long as the old main bell, which now hangs in none other than the Henry Bell Tower at the stadium. The Graduate of the Last Decade Award honors an alum whose early accomplishments are truly remarkable. The award recognizes outstanding community service, career achievements, and volunteerism. I describe these final 4 awards not just as a CSU president, but as a CSU alum, College of Liberal Arts. Yeah, College of Liberal Arts, thank you. And a Parmalee alum too, so we've got that in common, lived in Parmalee. And my husband, Jeff, and I also now have 2 current CSU students, future alums. And we are all grateful to all of our fellow Rams who put their student experiences to work for the betterment of their community and their world. And the 4 individuals we're about to honor not only fit that description, they define it. So congratulations to tonight's final 4 award winners. They embody celebrating tradition while embracing innovation and serving the greater good while leaving their own special mark in the world. All right, Rams, so are we ready? Ready for the final 4? All right, let's do it. Let's get going with the Graduate of the Last Decade. Back to you.
Thank you, President Parsons. Master Sergeant Joshua Johnson serves as the first sergeant for the 111th Attack Squadron at Ellington Field Joint Reserve Base in Texas. For more than 14 years, he has served with honor and distinction in the United States Air Force, guided by his philosophies of unity, inclusion, and service. In 2018, at the age of 27, he enrolled at CSU as a non-traditional learner, and with the help of CSU's Adult Learner and Veteran Services, excelled, earning a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology in 2020. In his military, professional, and personal life, Josh creates one-on-one connections with people to help them thrive and is happiest helping others reach new limits.
The Graduate of the Last Decade Award recognizes a recent graduate for accomplishments made in the area of career, service, or volunteer efforts that have brought honor to the individual and to Colorado State University. First bestowed by the Alumni Association in 1994, the Graduate of the Last Decade Award, or Gold Award, honors an alum who has made the most of the past 10 years in their chosen field or in service to others. Recipients are driven difference makers who make an immediate and lasting impact. Tonight, we present the Graduate of the Last Decade Award to Josh Johnson for his stalwart service to our nation, impact as a coach, and force for good in every area he chooses to be involved.
Josh is a kid that has a motor that never stops. And so if he's going to do it, he's going to do it at 150 miles an hour. Even if the speed limit's 100 miles an hour, he's going to do it at 150. So that's just who he is and how he approaches life.
He'll always be snacking on things. It's really weird. Like he's a little guy, but he's always eating. I always wondered why he was eating all the time. And he'll keep snacks in his office desk. And the reason why is because he'll skip his lunch and he'll go to the gym with one of his soldiers to go run, 5-6 miles or 2 miles or go swim. That way he could get one of his soldiers ready for a PT test, so a physical fitness test. That was the big thing with Josh, is he's very humble and very giving.
When he approaches a subject or something that he's curious about, he is relentless with it. And so he has never let me up. He has never let up on me. He's just always on top of hey, what's this thing? Or what's that thing? Hey, you've done this kind of success, or you know about this subject. Anywhere from parenting to finance, professionalism, athletics, everything. He's just, he never stops.
He's probably the most selfless person, one of the most selfless people I've ever met in my life. He's constantly focused on the folks around him and how does he bring them up? How does he lift them up? How does he move forward in his personal relationships, his professional relationships? He's doing exactly today the same things he did here as a student in his professional life. And he's having the same successes. And the people around him are enjoying successes as well. Maybe because he's just in their life.
He doesn't want to finish first. He does want to finish first, but the thing is he would rather see an extension of himself finish as well. So he's in for the team. It's the push, it's the drive. The drive isn't for himself, it's for himself and others. So he gives this presence, this aura that pushes everybody to make it 5 more feet, 10 more feet, 100 more feet. Next thing you know, you're running a marathon. You're like, man, I didn't think I could do it. Well, he proved that you could.
It's the people that we remember and the moments that we remember along the way to the award that really, truly matter most and that he'll cherish most. As he looks at this award, he will know all of the effort and all of the empathy and kindness and accomplishment and just grind, working hard, that has got him acknowledged to get this award.
He embodied everything that we talk about being a Ram. The mantra, Rams take care of Rams, he did that while he was here in spades, tenfold. He continues to do that. He continues to reach back. He's engaged. He's engaged with this center. He's engaged with his fellow alum that he met while he was here. And he is continuing to tell the CSU story. He calls me all the time. I read this about CSU. Tell me what this means. I need to explain this to somebody. So I think he just embodies everything that we talk about what it means to be a Ram. He lives it every day.
Please join me in congratulating Josh Johnson as the 2024 Graduate of the Last Decade Distinguished Alumnus and welcoming him to the stage.
Wow, Rams, what an honor. The video took my 2 minutes, I think. Like many of you, I wouldn't be here without amazing people. And as you heard from some of the people that have impacted my life and made my life better, the two that you haven't heard from are my parents here, and they came from Minnesota. And that's where I was born and raised. But like many Minnesotans, we found that the weather is a lot better in Colorado, and the views are 100 times better. So I'm grateful for the beginning and the love and support I got at home. And like others, the core values that started in the family. My family worked really hard, and I saw my dad start many businesses. In his vacation, he would take from one full-time career and then work another job just to provide for the family and make sure that I could have the experiences of those who worked and went to other private schools. And so they really gave me a wonderful foundation. And then also a life of service, also an Air Force veteran. And I'm very grateful for the start and the success there. When I did get in the Air Force, I'll tell you that he didn't want me to just go in the Air Force and do my job. The first time I went, he visited the base. He had placed college pamphlets from all the universities nearby my first Air Force base in Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico. So when I got to my vehicle, there were all these pamphlets sitting on the chair. And that inspired me. I took my first college class, which was a night class, and I was hungry for more of in-person learning. So then you fast forward, and I'm looking with a GI Bill, where you could go anywhere in the United States to college. How do you find CSU? I've lived in many countries and many states. Well, I'll tell you, your team here in the Adult Learner and Veteran Services, and Mr. Mark Barker on the video, and Lisa, and the student veterans here, they told the story. And they made CSU number 5 in the nation for military-friendly schools. And when we got together, and I ran the 150 miles an hour over the speed limit, we went to number 2 military-friendly universities in the whole United States. Because we told the story of how higher education can change your life and change our family's tree. Like many of you, there are children who also went to CSU, and I cannot wait one day to tell, the people in my life that you could also encourage your little ones to go to college and do anything. So the work that the veterans team do, people from all over the United States move to Colorado to go to school here. And I'm so grateful. So the next things I just have to remind, I can't forget the people who let me be here tonight. So the whole alumni team, I am so impressed. From the moment that I've stepped on campus, the community, the principles of community aligned with the core values. That's why we are successful. That's why all of you have had so many meaningful moments at CSU. Because you aligned already with the core values. It wasn't a hard transition. So thank you, Dakota, Sophia, Kelsey, Christy, and then a classmate, Christian Dixon, who was involved in ASCSU, which is a wonderful program on campus and teaches a lot about negotiation, collaboration, and learning and listening to those with different opinions. If you want to be inspired, go listen to the student government debate topics. They're debating the same things that are happening in the federal elections and the campaigns. They're debating them right here on campus. They're that committed to change. And that was inspiring to me. I'm deeply saddened to hear the passing of Ann Gill. I did not know that. And she described, and she wrote a wonderful article of me and said that I was a difference maker. I would now propose that every one of you in this room is a difference maker, and I'm so humbled by all of your stories and your success. And I am now an educator, maybe not at the university, but in the Air Force, educating first sergeants like me who have a passion for people to be better airmen and better people. And so that is one of my joys of my life, that I get to pour into others, and the Air Force has allowed that. I will continue to wear my RAM gear. I will continue to sit in middle seats in the airplane so that I can make 2 friends. And hopefully bring you more Rams on campus. God bless the United States of America, and God bless Colorado State University. Go Rams.
Kay and Rudy Garcia have focused their lives on resilience, community support, and the enduring power of education, guided by the motto, Rams take care of Rams. Rudy graduated from CSU in 1981 with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration, and for 40 years, he significantly contributed to the university's advancement and administration as a proud alum and advocate for CSU. As a proud alumni and advocate for CSU, Alumni Association Life member, and champion for the Smith Alumni Center. Rudy served as assistant dean for the Warner College of Natural Resources for 12 years, fostering academic excellence and strategic growth. Then, in 2006, he assumed the senior associate vice president for university advancement role for more than a decade, steering initiatives to enhance philanthropic support and alumni engagement, all the while with Kay by his side, a Ram through and through. The Garcia's generous support of the university goes beyond a career invested in the green and gold, but shows up during basketball season tickets, 3 endowed scholarships spanning athletics, the Warner College Natural Resources, and the College of Business, and a named space in the Smith Alumni Center. Together, the couple has dedicated themselves to leaving CSU and Fort Collins better than they found it. Their Ram pride runs deep, and their green and gold spirit is felt on every corner of campus.
The Jim and Nadine Henry Award has been presented annually since 1988 to alumni who exemplify extraordinary service to CSU and its academic, athletic, and alumni programs. Named Alumni of the Century in 2000 by the Alumni Association, Jim and Nadine will always be synonymous with Ram pride. Passionate about education, this stalwart couple founded scholarships in several colleges. Hundreds of students have benefited from their generosity. They were ardent supporters of CSU athletics and filled their home with Ram memorabilia collected over 8 decades. Jim was inducted into the CSU Sports Hall of Fame for his many years of support and dedication to CSU student athletes. Tonight, we present the Jim and Nadine Henry Award to Kay and Rudy Garcia for their wholehearted and unwavering devotion to Colorado State University and its mission of access and opportunity.
Kay and Rudy are some of the most wonderful people I've ever met in my life. I mean, they are the true definition of a stalwart Ram. I met Rudy initially when I was brought in to become Vice President of Advancement at CSU. And within 1 minute, I just realized what an amazing person he was. Arguably one of the smartest, hardest working, committed people I've ever seen in my life. And then I got to know Kay over a period of years, and she is equally amazing. She just is an amazing individual. And her love for the Rams is equal to Rudy's.
Rudy was the first direct supervisor that I felt really saw potential in me and encouraged that and celebrated that, and told me that it was okay to play it big, right? And to kind of lean into that. It was his belief and encouragement in me that really inspired me and allowed me to push for more. I've only achieved my full potential, or as close to that as I've gotten, because of Rudy's belief in me and encouragement along the way.
For 14 months, Rudy and I shared a position at CSU as the Vice President for University Advancement. One of the first things Rudy said to me was, if we ever disagree, you get 2 votes and I get 1. And I don't think it worked like that, but it was fabulous. Every time I worked with Rudy, throughout all those years, we had a moment where we laughed. We were serious about a lot of things. We had a lot to do and a lot of output to get out there, but we always had fun. And we laughed. We laughed every time I saw him, which was important. There were a number of years that was my only ab workout, was laughing with Rudy, so it was great.
I see them as kind of the land grant mission incarnate, right? Like, if you are willing to put in the work and access your resources and serve others, you can be successful. And I think one of the neatest things about Kay and Rudy are they never forget that and really aim to pay it forward. So the service piece is such a huge part of their lives, and I think we see that in the recognition in this award and so many other things that they do. I just feel like they never forget where they came from. And one thing I know colleagues have appreciated about him over the years is Rudy never shies away from sharing his story and being really vulnerable and authentic in hopes that it might inspire somebody else to follow in those footsteps, or just see the power that's within themselves.
From the day Rudy set foot on campus to today, he is arguably one of the most committed, loyal, and stalwart Rams that I know. And I say that intentionally, a stalwart Ram. And Kay, from I think the moment she met Rudy, became a Ram. And I consider her as much a CSU person as anybody. And I think that long span of commitment to the university and willingness to do and support through the tough times, through the good times, they're always there. So they're not that fair weather supporter, that fair weather fan. They're with us day in, day out, no matter what, and they'll be with us day in, day out forever.
Please welcome Kay and Rudy Garcia to the stage to celebrate them as this year's Jim and Nadine Henry Award recipients.
Worked at CSU for 39 years, and I never had glasses, and now I retire, I have glasses. What's that all about? I mean, I don't understand that at all. Kay and I are honored and humbled to receive the Jim and Nadine Henry Distinguished Alumni Award tonight. As we stand here, we are filled with immense gratitude for this recognition and the journey that I think has led us here. Colorado State University has been a cornerstone of our lives, not just as a student, but as a place where we called home for 40-some years. When I first arrived at CSU, I had no idea it would become integral to who I am today. Over those decades, I've had the privilege of working alongside talented people, as you can see on the clip, and talented colleagues, and being part of a continuous evolving community that is always striving for excellence, and that's what I love about CSU. This award carries a very special meaning because it bears the name of two extraordinary people, Jim and Nadine Henry, whose legacy of dedication and service resonates deeply with Kay and I. Their commitment to CSU mirrors the spirit of this university, a place that nurtures growth, embraces challenges, and fosters lasting connections. Kathleen Henry's here today, and she's helped me so much in my career at CSU, and I just want to recognize you, Kathleen. You're a wonderful person. Let's all give her a round of applause. Kay and I want to express our heartfelt thanks to the Alumni Association. Christy, way to go. She's one of my favorite people of all time, by the way. My colleagues, my family, my great friends, Amanda and Mac, you're here today, who've supported us throughout our time at CSU. To the students, staff, and the faculty who are here at CSU today, you really inspire us to continue to be part of this incredible community. And we really look forward to witnessing the amazing things yet to come. Our Lord has truly blessed Kay and me. And thank you again for this remarkable honor. And as always, go Rams.
Jim Martell earned a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology from CSU in 1972, and his dedication to the university has never waned. He provided pro bono legal assistance as the Alumni Foundation merged with the CSU Foundation, serving as a member of the CSU Foundation Board for 38 years and chairman for 30 years. Beyond CSU, Jim was admitted to the Colorado State and federal courts in 1977 and the United States Supreme Court in 1989. And he has practiced real estate law in Fort Collins for 47 years, representing governmental and nonprofit entities providing affordable housing.
Named for Colorado State University's 5th president, the Charles A. Laurie Public Service Award honors alumni who have demonstrated exceptional and sustained leadership in their community, professional field, and have given a significant contribution of time and talent to the university. Charles Laurie's tenure, which began in 1909 and lasted until 1940, was so distinctive, selfless, and indelible that for many, he was the college. Those who have received the award named in his honor have carried on that legacy. Tonight, we present the Charles A. Laurie Public Service Award to James Martell for his lifelong professional and personal dedication to Colorado State University and the people of Fort Collins.
When I think about working with Jim as the board chair at the foundation, I feel really lucky and very blessed. I worked through my career with dozens of different board chairs, and Jim is the best.
He is dedicated to service, not in just the community, but to CSU. And I'm really happy that he's being recognized because Jim doesn't put himself forth to be recognized.
Well, one of the things I admire that all the stuff that he does isn't big fanfare.
No.
You know, it's mainly behind the scenes. You know, it's like he gets caught doing good things, you know, or something comes out after the fact, you know, or, oh, he did this or he did that. And so, you know, he's not a guy to pound his chest about how involved he is in the community. He just quietly goes and gets things done.
The common thread with Jim is that he wants to leave things better than he found them. He wants to give back to the community, no matter who it is, whether it's some 34-year-old lawyer that just moved here and is freshly postpartum and looking to start her own thing, or a low-income housing tenant, or a nonprofit that needs a consultation. Jim's there. He's not motivated by the billing. He's motivated by, is this the kind of work I want to do? And is this the kind of person I want to be?
He never thinks about the recognition or what's in it for him. So getting this, I think, is a real surprise, because this is just what you do as a CSU RAM, as an alum of this institution, of somebody who cares deeply. This is how you show up day in and day out. So I don't think Jim would have ever thought he would get this, because this is just who he is.
He takes care of people, and I really admire that about him.
I think he has absolutely figured out stuff, you know, about who am I, who do I want to be, you know, how does this fit into the grander scheme of things? You know, if I'm going to live my values, if I'm going to have integrity about what I believe, what I should do, how I should go about doing it, I think that's a principled life.
Jim has inspired me to have a full life, not just as a lawyer, but as a person. So you can work your hours as a lawyer. You can have a family, you can be a person, and you can contribute to the community and do all of those things while having this job.
I've never known an alum like Jim, that for 30 plus years, he was present. He showed up. He led. I don't know many people in the world that can say I volunteered for one organization for 30 years. So when you think about somebody making an impact and a difference in their community, he's done that. When you think of the legal, he's done that. And then when you think of what he's done as a RAM, he has gone above and beyond. And I don't know if this university will ever see that again from someone. Jim's truly a very special human being and so deserving of this award.
Please welcome Jim Martell to the stage as we celebrate him as a 2024 Charles A. Laurie Public Service Award recipient.
I'm extremely humbled and grateful and honored by this award. I'd like to start, though, with paraphrasing a song that I heard yesterday on a popular radio station that the kids listen to. I'm grateful every day for the girl who came my way 60 years ago at Club Tico, my wife, Christy. I have deep roots at CSU. My mother graduated here. My father worked in the athletic department for 12 years. I graduated here. One of my sisters graduated from CSU. My wife, Christy, has 2 degrees in art and taught in the art department for 20 years. So in 1979, when Jap French walked into my office, and he was the CSU Alumni Foundation. And Jap said, we tried to merge with the CSU Foundation, didn't go so well. So I think we need an attorney to help us, but we can't pay anybody. They couldn't pay anybody because they had no income. Jap French was the foundation. He was the CEO, the CFO, the chief investment officer. He was the fundraiser. He was everything. And 7 years later, we accomplished the merger. But this award is not about me. This is about the foundation. It's about the Alumni Foundation first, and then when they merged, it's about the CSU Foundation. And Jap French raised two major gifts, and one of them was the Claude Wood Fund that was mentioned earlier. And when it was time to merge, we had $100,000 left over. Remember, this is in '86. So we had $100,000 left over, and Jap said, we need to set up a fund for the beef judging. So beef judging has its own endowed fund. This is about Jap French. This is about Kathleen Henry. When we did complete the merger and we needed a real CEO, Kathleen said, sure, I'll do that. I'll take on a second full-time job. She was the full-time CEO of CSERV, which is now Strata. Kathleen said, I'll take on 2 full-time jobs. And she did that for 25 years. She was president, CEO of both foundations for 25, well, more than that with CSERV, because she started there before us. This is about Karen Dunbar, who was Kathleen's, I think, signature hire. Karen was a CPA, still is a CPA. She was a bank auditor, and those of you who may be familiar with banking can imagine a 20-something girl coming in to audit your bank books in an era when presidents carried half of their loans in the side drawer of their desk. So we knew that with Karen as the chief financial officer, there would never, ever be any problem with any of our audits, tax returns. There would never be a note. There would never be anything to worry about. And after 23 years, Karen moved over to advancement and has, for the last 10 years, been raising literally tens of millions of dollars a year for CSU. When Karen retired, or moved across the hall, technically across the hall at that time, we needed a CFO, and Alan Padilla Alan started as part of the Student Investment Fund, and then was hired by CSU to be the chief investment officer, or I think that's what his title was at the time, and moved with his family to Utah. But when we needed a CFO, Alan agreed to move his family back from Utah to take that position. And then when Kathleen retired, out of the sky came Cherie O'Neill, literally out of the sky, because she flew out here before we even started any interviews. Cherie came out here to just check things out and see what was going on. And Cherie, we went through the whole process. We had all the interviews. We had 1 round, we had 2 rounds, but none of it mattered because the day Cherie showed up, she was the only candidate. She was the person to take that position. So My job was not to interview her, but to convince her to come out here. And she is the one that moved us from a small 3-person board of all old white guys to a board that had 4 women and much more, I think, much more diversity to be able to support the university, whereas we operated primarily as a bank. Cherie changed that, and for the better. And I'm so grateful that she agreed to accept the job. This is about the people who work at the foundation every day. Sarah Campbell is here tonight. She's the Chief Operating Officer. Casey, and Terry Lynn Larson, who is the Comptroller. Michelle Martinez, one of our most recent board members. This is also about our Chief Outside Investment Officer, which is NEPC. NEPC has steered us on a course for long-term success. We'd have some donors who would tell us we should be all in treasuries, or one donor told us we should be in gold, and I could never figure that out because I didn't know what we were going to do with the gold. We'd have to build a Fort Knox on campus, and then I assume each semester we go in and shave off a little gold and give it to the student to go pay his tuition, or what, I don't know what. I couldn't figure that out, so we never went into gold. But NEPC has done a fabulous job steering the way. There are people at the foundation who have been there for more than 30 years. Rilla Williams, Sandra Thompson, Deepan Patel. And so this is for everyone. All of the board members that I've served with over the past 38 years. And one employee in particular that I'd like to mention is Jane Belford. And if Jane Belford had not worked at the foundation, I never would have met her daughter Kate, who is without a doubt the best law partner you could possibly ask for. So I humbly accept this award, not for myself, but on behalf of the foundations of Colorado State University. Thank you.
Yusuf Komunyaka was raised during the burgeoning civil rights movement, which along with jazz would influence his award-winning poetry. He served in the U.S. Army from 1969 to 1970 during the Vietnam War and was a correspondent and managing editor of the Southern Cross, which earned him a Bronze Star. He earned his Master's of the Arts from CSU in 1981 and has published dozens of collections of poetry, including Neon Vernacular, New and Selected Poems 1977 to 1989, which earned the Pulitzer Prize in Poetry in 1994. He currently lives in New Jersey, where he recently retired as a distinguished senior poet in New York's University's Graduate Creative Writing Program. Unfortunately, Yusuf wasn't able to join us for tonight's award presentation. However, we had the distinct pleasure of interviewing him last month in regard to his award and accomplishments.
Named for the Colorado State University's 8th president, the William E. Morgan Alumni Achievement Award is the highest honor bestowed by the Alumni Association and is reserved for alumni who have excelled at the national or international level. President Morgan presided over Colorado A&M's transformation into a modern research university and fought tirelessly for the growth and welfare of this institution throughout the decades he served in the president's chair. Tonight, we present the William E. Morgan Alumni Achievement Award to Yusef Komanyaka in recognition of his extraordinary achievements as a poet, nonfiction writer, and educator.
Yusef, what inspires you?
What inspires me? A number of things. Life, just growing up in the environment I did, you know, all this stuff. And a certain kind of dreaming began to take place, where I was bringing things together and how those things play off of each other. And before you know it, or before one knows it, there's a whole inspired connection.
I think that the year that Yusef won the Pulitzer was my first year of graduate school. So it's almost as I entered into the poetry world, having never studied really poetry before as an undergrad, he was my ground floor. And in fact, my very first year of undergrad, the first kind of living black male poet I heard of was Yusef. Winning the Pulitzer for Yusef certainly brought him into the limelight. He's the first, African-American man to win it at that point. And so for anybody watching, as I said, even for myself, it was a possibility maybe that we hadn't thought about. But I guess I would still say though, the prizes just have never seemed that significant. People carry those honors differently. I know a lot of people have won the major prizes, and Yusef was never someone who, I could say it this way, this is good, it's like sports. It's glory, it's not fame. So what he's working for, I think, is for the glory that comes with peers and people that read him carefully to be like, you the man. But the fame part of it, which is like a Pulitzer Prize or a Nobel Prize or whatever else that looks like, I just have never gotten the sense that he cared about that. I really haven't.
We have to be willing to discover. We have to be able to laugh and say, where did I come from? Remember, the language is rhythm. Don't be afraid to dance.
At the end of the week of studying with him, he would typically take everyone and do kind of a close reading over their poem. And for me, I now understand it was a compliment. We didn't do that. We went and visited a friend of his who had a great jazz collection and was an artist, and we sat and listened to music. And most of the night, I was like, when are we gonna talk about my poems? I think I had them in my back pocket. But I realized it was a way of him sort of expressing to me, I think, our relationship was gonna be different than just talking about poems. And I think that turned out to be true. The nature of influence isn't always, nose to nose or eye to eye. Sometimes it's just about like being in a room with someone. And really that is his influence, I think. Just his presence, as I said.
Maybe it had something to do with me, but I don't think it does. I think a lot of kids are inspired to see into things. Not necessarily let their eyes just glide over it like a glance, but to see into things. Because we keep coming back to those images. We keep coming back to those certain moments in our personal history or what have you. Trying to make some sense out of it. Fortress. Now, I began with these two hands held before me as blessing and weapon, blackbirds and fierce flight and instruments of touch and consolation. This sign means stop. And this sign, of course, means come forth, friend. I draw a circle in the red iron clay around my feet, where no evil spirit dares to find me. One's hands held at this ankle over a boy's head or a roof over a sanctuary. I am a greenhorn in my fortress in the woods, with my right eye pressed to a knot hole. I can see a buzz in the persimmon tree, its ripe letting go, a tiny white cross in each seed. The girl's fiery jump rope strikes the ground. I see the back door of that house close to the slow creek, where a drunken, angry man stumbles across the threshold every Friday. I see forgiveness, unbearable twilight, and these two big hands know too much about nail and hammer, plank and uneasy sky, hewn stone and mortar is another world. And sometimes a tall gate comes first, then huge wooden barrels of grain, flour, salted meat, and quick line before 28 crossbows and 4 towers.
Please welcome Director of CSU's Creative Writing Program and University Distinguished Professor Camille Dungy to the stage as she accepts the William E. Morgan Alumni Achievement Award on behalf of Yusuf Komunyaka.
We knew work was rhythm, and so was love. That's a line from one of Yusuf Komunyaka's poems, The Poetics of Paperwood, which was included in that collection that won the Pulitzer Prize in 1994. President Parsons and I graduated from college in the same year, so imagine me, a junior in college, creative writing, English, reading work by the first African-American man to win one of the biggest awards in literature. After Yusuf won that award, it was nearly a quarter of a century before another African-American man did. And then very in rapid succession, Greg Pardlow, who came and spoke here once at CSU, and another Black male writer won it. 20 years, nothing before that. One of the things that Yusuf Komunyakaa represents for the world of literature, but the world as a whole, is how to make possibilities where none seem to have existed before. I knew about CSU partially because of Komunyakaa. I've been lucky to know him for about 25 years, and when he talks about his time in Colorado, there is a kind of peace that comes over him and gratitude. He says that when he came to Colorado, mind you, from the front in Vietnam, and then from the fronts of Civil War, the later version, civil rights activism in Bogalusa, Louisiana. He came to Fort Collins and to Colorado, and he found a kind of peace. He said he used to camp outside at night and has never forgotten it was the first time he felt that he didn't have to worry. He didn't have to have fear. He could truly be himself. He worked with writers here like Mary Crow and Bill Trimbley, and was able to come into a path that he did not know was possible for himself, and then therefore make paths for other people that were wider and more available. He says that with Mary Crow, he took a translation class and began to understand differently how to think about language from a global perspective and share a kind of focus and meaning with many people. But I think it's really important, because I know a bunch of you maybe hear poetry and you think, oh, that has nothing to do with me. But that first poem that I quoted, The Poetics of Paperwood, Komunyakaa grew up in a mill town. He grew up in an agricultural space. Many of those concerns came into his writing. Here at CSU, this place that is truly supportive of ROTC students and active and reserve military people and veterans, this young man who had just come from a war situation found a kind of peace and comfort. And so he's carried that possibility for creating beauty, even out of horror. The sort of really fascinating juxtaposition that is CSU, where we are this very military-friendly university, and we're also the home of the Peace Corps, right? Those sorts of expansiveness for vision and being that are made possible here. Komunyakaa thanks you deeply for this honor. And I am so grateful to him and his work and the model that he's made. I want to, as the last recipient representative here, be sure to just say, all of you alumni honorees, what a really, truly remarkable way of showing this continued stretch of the reach of the work that is rhythm, and also the love that is the rhythm at the base of our heart. Thank you very much.
Wow. The inspiration in this room after those stories is truly profound. I cannot put into words how proud it makes me, as a current student, to see what our Rams are doing out in the world, in every industry and from every walk of life. What an extraordinary honor it is to welcome you home as our 2024 Colorado State University Distinguished Alumni and to be a part of this amazing night. Christy, can you please join us to close out this event?
I sure can. How about one more round of applause for all of our recipients tonight? Now you get to see why this is my favorite night of the entire year. And Maddie and Charlie, you did such a great job. How about a round of applause for our peers? Without a doubt, some of our recipients tonight, you are the amazing Rams that are some of our most passionate, influential, and distinguished alumni of Colorado State. I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed this inspiring evening. I want to personally invite you to join us for the many other homecoming and family weekend festivities that we have starting tomorrow. It's going to be a really, really fun and beautiful few days. On behalf of Colorado State University and the Alumni Association, thank you all so much for being here with us. I hope you are as proud as I am to be a part of the Rams family. As a special treat to you all, one of the Alumni Association's newest partners, local alumni-owned Kilwins Chocolates, has provided delicious treats for everyone to grab on your way out. Before you go, if I could please have all recipients come back up to the stage and we'll get a group photo for everyone. In the words of our wonderful Ann Gill that she used to say after every single commencement, "Fare thee well, Rams, fare thee well." Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for all that you do for your support of Colorado State University, and go Rams.